Now, hello, I'm back again. This is part 6 of the NX-01 Refit Build, and I'll show you what I've done so far. It's Wednesday, by the way. So first I used the decals to work on the secondary hull. So I put a couple on the struts of the secondary hull from the bottom. I put a couple of gray rectangles on the two raised sections here. And I used the other gray rectangles to fill in the paneling, as you can see there. That's all I'm going to do for the secondary hull bottom. Anyway, for the nacelles, the only thing I was able to do really is put two gray rectangles on those two sections just behind the first hole there. But as far as the saucer section, I'm able to do a lot more. I did the bottom of the saucer struts, left and right, and I have slowly been working on the nacelle housings and the back and outer saucer, as you can see. I did the central inner saucer just now, and now I'm working on the entire outer band of the saucer. And you can see all those decals here. I'm just going to cut them up section by section. So once I'm put on more, I will come back and show you the progress. Okay, so the first rear outer sections are on, both front and back, left and right. They look pretty good. They look pretty even. I'm bringing them up. I'm using the sensor bands here, if that's what they are, as the outer boundary for each decal. So I'll come back when I've done more. All right, I'm back. Got a good view of the cutting mat as I work on the model. So I'm putting on the next decal here. So let's see how this goes. I want to try and center this gray upper square in the center of the cargo bay door. It looks like it belongs there. So I'll see if I can do that. Of course, it's going to be hard to tell. Oh, just angle it a bit. Okay, here we go. There we are. That's good. And it is in the center of the door, so that's excellent. So now I'll move to the other side. And I'll do the other section, and I'll keep coming back, but at least we know we have an optimum angle. So I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. While I was waiting, I realized that I have 4 bottom side rectangles that can be used for this section of each nacelle. You see how there's like 2 rectangles side by side? So I'm going to use those decals on those sections after I've done the outer saucer ring. And that way I've done as much bottom Aztec coverage as I can get using decals. Now, of course, the Enterprise itself is going to use the medium decals. These are the light ones. And the Columbia, well, that's the one that's going to be the guinea pig for the Jack's Hacks Creation Aztec decals. Thankfully, it has a spare set just in case. But I'm having so much fun with these NX-01 ships, I might just continue and do all 3 since I'm building for me now. Anyway, I'm going to do more decal and I'll be back when it's complete. Alright, I'm back. As you can see, I've made more progress on the ship. It's quite nice. It's subtle. It's more like the steel gray color on those Aztec decals, which is pretty good. And it seems to be working out quite well as far as getting the decals on without any wrinkles or anything. Of course, I am using the microsol just to be sure. Yeah, I'm down to the last 3, so that's wonderful. So now I'm going to turn the ship this way so I can more easily get the decals on, because now they're facing the front. Alright, because I'm left-handed, I always do the right side first. So line it up. That should work. There we go. Oh, that's brilliant. It's wonderful. Just nudge it down a little bit. Bring it a little closer to the... I want to butt it right up against the sensor band. There we go. Okay. Blot out any air bubbles. Move on to the next one, which is on this side. Moisten it, of course. I'm alternating so that things don't go wrong. And I can see some raised panel opportunities for doing a slightly darker gray. Anything that the decal doesn't seem to cover, I might just accent with the darker gray just to see what it looks like. There we go. Alright, that's good. Get the wrinkles out of that. Of course, if it's covered up by the decal, you don't have to paint it. It's only if it isn't that I'll paint it. Alright, so microsol again. Soak the final front decal, which will have raised protrusions to align itself with, so I won't actually have to worry about painting too much. I'm only going to paint what is left without a decal. So that's kind of the reason I went exactly by the painting instructions. And now that I know where the decals cover, now I know what I can paint. Like the 2 raised parts here, and the 2 raised parts on each nacelle here, and there's a couple parts in the front, right beside the deflector housing. So that's brilliant. But that's why I love the Aztec decals. They cover almost everything, and then you can figure out what's left and then do some detail painting on that. Now the weird thing is, the way the Aztec decals went, they kind of overlapped the center where I have to put this one on. So it's going to kind of be a decal over a decal, but as long as I align it along the 6 shapes, everything will be fine. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Yeah, perfect. Nearly centered, just bring it forward a little bit. There we go. There we are. And just pat it down like I did with the others. Put on the microsol again to get it into all the crevices. There we go. Leave it alone after that. And there you are. The bottom saucer has all its Aztecs and its details. It's really quite beautiful. So I'm going to do the detail painting and the other few decals I want to put on. And I'll be back when that's done. Alright, I'm back. So I finished my trim. What I did on the very front to contrast with the dark is I did light trim on those 2 sections. And on the back, what I did is I did light trim here and here, and on these 2 nacelle top. And I did dark in there. And then I put the 2 darker, slightly darker rectangles along there. So now the entire bottom saucer is all Aztec'd, as well as the rest of the ship. So I'm just going to leave it like that for the rest of the day to let it dry. Take a few still pictures, and I will, this will be part 6, and that'll be all I'm going to do today. I'm not touching the ship at all, leaving it completely alone. Let everything dry, let the microsols set, and I will be back with the rest of the Refit Enterprise build probably tomorrow. I might try doing the top tomorrow, but I will do the secondary hull first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the stand of the ship to keep the bottom of the ship from touching the mat. I'll just put the saucer on the stand, and I'll do the top saucer that way. I'll put the secondary hull on the stand, and I'll do that way, and so on. So that should work out quite well. And that'll wrap up part 6, what I did today, and my plans for tomorrow doing the top Aztecs will round out part 7 just before I go and see my parents for Labor Day weekend. So hope everyone out there has a great rest of the week and a great Labor Day weekend, and I'll see you here next time.